श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे। उन्मत्तनटनताण्डवं मत्ते भवदनभासुरं चित्ताब्जबोधभास्करम् आयत्तयोगराजितं विद्वेषनित्यपूजितम् उत्तानपाणिमुद्रितं श्रीकृत्तिवाससुतं कैलासदृशदिनर्तनं भक्तान्तरङ्गवर्तनं पापौघपाशकर्तनं श्रीपार्वतीसुतं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे। लम्बोदराङ्गताण्डवं मुद्राकराब्जपण्डितं सर्वाङ्गनागमण्डनं वन्दे विनायकं पतिं। धिं धिम्मितकिटमर्दलं भं भं निनादशङ्खकम् आनन्दनृत्यतत्परं ध्यायामि प्रमथनायकम्। आमोदकरमोदकं वेदान्तमतिमादकं दुष्कर्मफलसाधकं विघ्नेश्वरं गुरुं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे। सृष्टिस्थितिलयकारणं मोक्षाख्यदैत्यमारणं संसारजलधितारणं स्तौमि प्रभो नरवारणं। पञ्चास्यमादिदैवतं देवऋषिभिः समर्चितम् आलोकगलितसञ्चितं विघ्नाधिनाथमाश्रये। श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे। लोकैकपरमवैभवं लोकेश्वरादिसम्भवम् आलोकपरिहृतोद्भवम् आलोकये परं भवम्। श्रीकृष्णकविनिवेदितैः श्लोकाख्यमोदकैरिमैः आनन्दगणपतिं पतिम् आराधयन्तु साधकाः। श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे, 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 श्रीदत्तगणपतिं भजे।
ॐ परब्रह्मसमारम्भां श्रीदत्तात्रेयमध्यमाम् श्रीदत्तस्वामिपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। सर्वविश्वन्यस्तपादपद्मायते वामहस्तालोलवेदशास्त्रायते ज्ञानसूर्यायते दत्तरूपायते श्रीवेणुगोपालकृष्णाय वन्दनम् श्रीवेणुगोपालकृष्णाय वन्दनम् श्रीवेणुगोपालकृष्णाय वन्दनम् गुरुदत्त श्रीदत्त प्रभुदत्त पाहि माम् विधिदत्त हरिदत्त हरदत्त रक्ष माम् पाहि मां दत्त रक्ष मां दत्त
Namaskaram, Swami. Pada Namaskaram, Swamiji. With salutations at the lotus feet of Shri Datta Swami, let us begin the Satsang. We will begin with question answers. I offer this dedication at the lotus feet of Swamiji. From you alone is all knowledge sublime, and everything that's great and fine. All the ignorance and error are but mine, for I am just a soul, and you the goal divine. Trusting your compassion benign, my errant service I yet consign to those holy lotus feet of thine, Shri Datta Swami, my Sadguru trine. Last week we were going through questions asked by Srimati Chandaji, and we had covered about 17 questions, and now we will continue from there. So her question is, Pada Namaskaram Swami. Pada Namaskaram, my Lord Krishna. Please remove the following ignorance of this very ordinary soul on the state of Turiya. The below questions are based on the discourse Avidya and the states of consciousness, and the hyperlink is provided. In all my questions, my concentration is only on the human incarnation of God, and I am totally ignoring our cases, as you already have explained, that the four states of consciousness are not at all related to us as per the Veda. So this is the background of the series of questions she is going to ask. And the first among those questions is, I'm very interested in knowing the meaning of Turiya. Swami replied, Turiya means the final state in which God is in his original unimaginable state. Of course, he is imaginable to himself. He is unimaginable to any type of awareness other than himself. Since he is beyond space and time, nobody other than him can imagine him. So in this term Turiya comes from the Veda, specifically the Mandukya Upanishad, which talks about three states. One is the waking state, the second is the dream state, the third is the deep sleep state, and the final state is the fourth state, is the Turiya state. That Turiya state is indicative of the unimaginable state of God, the unimaginable nature of God. The first three states, they are not the states of the consciousness of an ordinary human being. In the Veda, those three states that are discussed, in general, those three states exist in an ordinary human being. But the discussion in the Veda is not about those ordinary waking, dream, and deep sleep states of a human being. The case that is being discussed over there is the case of a human incarnation of God. Why is it the human incarnation of God? Because the fourth state does not exist in the case of an ordinary human being. But the Veda is discussing that. The Mandukya Upanishad is definitely discussing the fourth state. So, in which case is the fourth state found? It is found in the case of a human incarnation. So, the Turiya state is that state which is beyond the waking, dream, and deep sleep states, because in a human incarnation, there is the medium, the human medium, plus the unimaginable God who has entered into that medium, who resides in that medium, but is beyond that medium. The medium undergoes the three states of awareness, which is the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. They pertain to the medium, but the fourth state is Turiya. That state exists in the incarnation. When I say that state, it means the unimaginable God himself exists in that human incarnation. He does not exist in us. If you do the analysis of the ordinary human being, you will find the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. But beyond that, there is nothing. So the Upanishad is not discussing the ordinary human being, although the first three states that are discussed are broadly applicable to the human being. Where they fail to be applicable to the human being is even in the third state of deep sleep. The Mandukya Upanishad mentions that the witness of the third state is Ishvara. That again is not applicable for the ordinary human being. So there are some nuances that are there in the Mandukya Upanishad. They should not be, those states should not directly be applied to the case of an ordinary human being. This Swamiji had explained already. And Srimati Chandaji has read that. Having read that, she asks a question about what that Turiya state exactly is. So Swami explains over here that Turiya means the final state in which God in his original, God is in his original unimaginable state. Now, when we say unimaginable, does it mean that God is unimaginable even to himself? No, that would be absurd, because God is said to be the omniscient one. If he is ignorant, if he cannot imagine himself, he would be ignorant. He is not ignorant. He is said to be omniscient. So he knows himself. And the Veda also clearly says that he knows himself. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. So unimaginable means unimaginable to us, unimaginable to all forms of awareness that exist in creation. And Swamiji has made it even more precise by saying that God is unimaginable to any form of awareness other than himself. But that begs the question as to whether God is awareness. Is God a form of awareness? Because here Swami writes, he is unimaginable to any type of awareness other than himself. That presumes that God is also some type of awareness. Well, not exactly. If you want to call God awareness, then you must say that he is an unimaginable awareness. He is actually beyond awareness. By the word awareness, what comes to our mind is the awareness that results due to nervous activity in the brain. That kind of awareness is not God. God is beyond that kind of awareness. Maybe a more sophisticated type of awareness exists in angels, where the nervous system is not material, but it is made of energy. It's an energetic nervous system. Even compared to that awareness, God is beyond. God is Turiya. He is beyond even that kind of angelic awareness. any awareness other than himself is not he. He is different. So he is an unimaginable form of awareness. And why are we saying he is unimaginable? Because being the creator of space, he has to be beyond space. God is said to be the creator of space. This entire universe, this entire creation exists in space. But who created that space? The Veda clearly says that God created that space. He pre-existed space. So if he was that pre-existent entity, even before space, it means he is a non-spatial entity. And the human mind, your human imagination, or even the imagination of angels cannot reach such an item which is non-spatial, which is beyond space. Any imagination that happens, be it in the mind of a human being or be it in the mind of an angel, all imagination only happens in space. God, being the spatial entity, is beyond space. So he is this non-spatial, unimaginable entity. His unimaginability is indicated by the term Turiyam. Now, Srimati Chanda further asks, is Turiya related to an ashrama or the four states of consciousness? Because there is some mention about Lord Datta being in the Turiya ashrama. Ashrama means a stage in life. So the question is it related to the ashrama apart from the four ashramas of God in the form of the human incarnation in some context? And in some other context, it is related to the last state of the four states of consciousness. Please explain. Swami replied, the word Turiya stands for the unimaginable nature. When God Datta was asked by sages about the ashrama to which he belonged, God Datta replied that he belongs to the Turiya ashrama. Clarification over here. Ashrama represents a hermitage. The word ashrama is used for a hermitage where a sage would probably reside. But ashrama also means a stage in life. So there is the brahmacharya ashrama, the grahastha ashrama, the vanaprastha ashrama, and the sannyasa ashrama. These are the four ashramas. Ashramas are stages in life. Brahmacharya means when you are a student, a celibate student. You are not married yet. And your main duty is to study. Then later on, once your education is completed, you get married. And then you have all the household responsibilities. You have to maintain a family. That is the stage of a grahastha, a householder. So that is grahastha ashrama. After that is vanaprastha. In olden days, when all your family duties were over, like your children have grown up and children have gotten married and everything, then people would go off to the forest. Nowadays, people go off to a retirement community. In olden days, they used to go off to the forest to be in the company of sages, away from the hustle and bustle and the worries and the materialistic things that exist in cities. So people used to go away into the forest. Vana means a forest. Vanaprastha is a person who is in the forest. So they are forest dwellers. So they used to become Vanaprasthas, and eventually they would be accept sannyasa. Sannyasa means they completely disconnect themselves from worldly matters due to their attraction to God. So when you go to the forest, you spend some time in the company of sages. They preach to you all the greatest truths that exist in the Veda, which in your days of being a celibate student you had studied. But then in between, you had so many family duties, so you had to earn money and all that. But now, finally, all those responsibilities are over. So you dwell on those truths given in the scriptures. You try to assimilate those ideas deeply because lots of your materialistic desires have been somewhat satisfied. In your the early part of your life, maybe hormones are raging. So although the truth is being told to you, you cannot control yourself. All that is fine. During Grahasthashrama, all those things have been resolved. Finally, when you reach Vanaprastha, lots of the desires, temptations have subsided. You have a renewed interest in learning the truth, learning about God. You go to the forest, you learn all that, and that leads you to devotion. That creates devotion in your mind towards God. And when that devotion has increased to such an extent that now you're not interested in anything belonging to this world, then you are in sannyasa ashrama. You are in sannyasa. So that is the general format, the general recommended format of how the life of a person should run, from the celibate student to the married householder to the retired person to finally the person single pointedly devoted to God. That is how life should progress. So these are the four ashramas. So ashrama also means a stage in life. Now, a question was posed to Lord Datta as to what his ashrama is. It was very confusing. No one could determine which ashrama he belonged to. So that part Swamiji is explaining now. So when Lord Datta was asked by the sages about the ashrama to which he belonged, God Datta replied that he belonged to the Turiya ashrama. This means that his ashrama is unimaginable like himself. We have seen that the term Turiya refers to the unimaginable state or unimaginable nature of God. So what is his ashrama? Turiya ashrama. The ashrama also, his stage in life is also unimaginable like himself. How is it unimaginable? Let's see. Firstly, he is married to goddess Anagha, and hence he belongs to the Grahastha ashrama. Grahastha ashrama becomes Grahastha ashrama. So he is a householder because he is married, right? But he wears the saffron cloth, and hence he belongs to the sannyasa ashrama. Renounced saints wear the orange robes. A grahastha never wears orange robes. You're not allowed to wear orange robes if you're a grahastha, according to tradition. But look at Lord Datta. Being married to goddess Anagha, he wears the uniform of a sannyasi. So based on his marriage, being married to goddess Anagha, you will say that he is a grahastha. But looking at his clothes, you will say, no, he is a sannyasi. Further, since he roams in the forests, he belongs to Vanaprastha ashrama, a forest dweller. Moreover, since goddess Anagha is also an incarnation of himself, the Parabrahman, he is the perfect celibate belonging to Brahmacharya ashrama. He is married to Anagha, but who is Anagha? She is not different from himself. Parabrahman and Mahamaya are non-different. Anagha is Mahamaya. Lord Datta is Parabrahman. He is married to Anagha means he is not married to anyone other than himself, which means in him, there is only monism. There are no two. He is a perfect celibate. Celibacy is also indicated by the term brahmacharya. The student who goes to the guru to study is celibate. He is not married. And that is why he is called a brahmachari. Uh, a, a girl would be called a brahmacharini. So Lord Datta is a brahmachari because he is not married to anybody other than himself. So he belongs to the Brahmacharya ashrama also. Since all the four ashramas are different from each other, he cannot be in all the ashramas at the same time. This brings the unimaginable nature to his ashrama, which was called by him as Turiya ashrama. You may say that he can be a part of all four ashramas at the same time. No, but these ashramas are different. So he cannot be part of all four, but you see indications of all four. How is it possible? We don't know how it is possible. It is unimaginable. So his ashrama is also unimaginable, like his nature. God's original nature is unimaginable to any form of awareness. So that unimaginability we see also in his ashrama. Next question. When unimaginability exists in the deep sleep state, what is extra in Turiya? So she says, in the deep sleep state, when the unimaginability is already coming, then what is extra in Turiya? Can we not say that the third state, which is the deep sleep state, itself is Turiya, as the step is valid for the human incarnation only, where the unimaginable awareness exists? I know I will never understand this state, even if you explain, but my main confusion, at least, will be removed. I'm really not able to differentiate between these two states of deep sleep and the Turiya state in the case of the human incarnation. What is the necessity of bringing one more, fourth state, when in the third state itself, God comes in the form of the human incarnation? Swami replied, in the Turiya state, even though God is unimaginable, God is aware of himself. The deep sleep state is for human beings. In this state, the awareness disappears, and hence the individual soul, that is the jiva, is not aware of itself. But the impressions of already existing thoughts exist in chittam, which is the power of memory. Since there is no awareness in the deep sleep state, the thoughts in the memory cannot become active to cause dreams. In the dream state, you have dreams. In the deep sleep state, because the awareness is not functioning, dreams cannot be created. Memories exist. They exist in your brain, in the faculty of your memory, but they are not active. They do not create scenes in your mind. In the case of the human incarnation, the God component always exists in the Turiya state alone. The God component is always in the Turiya state. So even in the deep sleep or the dream state or the waking state of the incarnation, Parabrahman, which is the fourth item, the Turiya item, exists equally in all those states. The God component always exists. While the incarnation is in deep sleep, the God component exists in the Turiya state and the human being component exists in the deep sleep state. So yes, there is certainly a difference between the deep sleep state and the Turiya state. I think what she is wondering is, when in the deep sleep state itself a differentiation between an ordinary human being and the incarnation can be achieved, why should this additional state of Turiya be designated? The question is a fair point, but there is actually a differentiation between them. And that is because the deep sleep state belongs to the medium. We human beings undergo a deep sleep state. The human medium of the incarnation also undergoes a deep sleep state. But during the deep sleep state of the ordinary human being like us, there is no existing awareness in that medium. awareness, the production of awareness through nervous activity in the brain has stopped. The brain is functioning, but awareness is not created. No awareness is generated, despite the existence of the involuntary functions, the nervous activity which controls the involuntary functions. Despite that, awareness is not produced. In the case of the human medium of the incarnation also, awareness is not produced in the medium, but it doesn't mean that awareness does not exist at all. A different kind of awareness exists. That is the awareness of the energetic incarnation exists. In the human incarnation, Lord Krishna, when Lord Krishna is sleeping, when he is in deep sleep, Lord Vishnu is there, the energetic incarnation. His awareness exists. His awareness never sleeps. So that awareness which exists in the medium of Krishna when Krishna is in deep sleep, that awareness is Ishvara. Lord Vishnu is Ishvara. So that is told in the Yonis Sarvasya. He is the source of all creation. That awareness which exists in the deep sleep of the incarnation is the source of the entire creation. It is the Prajna. It is the omniscient one. He knows everything perfectly. So in the deep sleep state of the incarnation itself, we see a distinction between the incarnation and ourselves. But it doesn't mean that a fourth state does not exist. Because that awareness of Ishvara, that also has its source even beyond that, even beyond that energetic incarnation of Lord Vishnu. The source of it all, which is Parabrahman, exists, and that is the fourth state. That fourth state, Parabrahman, that fourth state is nothing but Parabrahman, the ultimate God. That Parabrahman exists in Lord Vishnu, exists in Lord Krishna. Whether Krishna is awake or sleeping or dreaming or whatever, Parabrahman always exists. So the Turiya state always exists in the human being component of the incarnation. And that Turiya state never exists in ourselves, the ordinary human beings. It never exists at no time. Whether you are waking or sleeping or in deep sleep, there is no existence of Parabrahman in you. As such, globally, Parabrahman exists. Globally, Parabrahman is the support of this entire creation. We are not denying that. But his support of this entire creation is an unimaginable connection. The connection between how he has given rise to this creation, how this creation is the effect, has become the effect of that ultimate cause called Parabrahman. That cause-effect relationship is an unimaginable cause-effect relationship. It's not an imaginable cause-effect relationship. Therefore, you cannot say that in me also Parabrahman exists. No, sir. In you, Parabrahman does not exist. There is no imaginable way by which you can say that in you, Parabrahman exists. If you begin to make that claim, we will bow down at your feet because you must be an incarnation in that case. So this is the whole logic. It's a very deep question asked by Chandaji, and this is also the source of a lot of confusion even amongst scholars. So Swamiji gives you some more detail into it. Swami says, even in the alloy, gold exists as gold and copper exists as copper. In the Turiya state, the awareness itself is unimaginable because the omnipotence of God performs the functions of relative awareness. And the awareness based on the brain and nervous system does not exist at all. In the deep sleep state, the materialized nervous system exists, along with inert energy released from the digestion of food, but the transformation of inert energy into awareness does not take place in the resting brain and nervous system. So again, Swamiji is pointing out the distinction between the deep sleep state and the Turiya state. The Turiya state, you can say that it is an awareness because God is omniscient at all times. God who is Parabrahman in that state of Turiya, he is omniscient. You may ask, if awareness has not been produced in the deep sleep state, how is that Parabrahman existing in that medium, aware of everything? Omniscience means being aware of everything. So the answer to that is, he is aware of everything through an unimaginable mechanism. His knowledge, his awareness is not dependent on the imaginable process of a nervous system gathering some information through the senses. So that is why he's not the relative awareness. The relative awareness means the awareness found in the relative reality, which means this creation. The awareness found in this creation, which is a relative reality, is relative awareness. That is the awareness of you, me, the cow, the horse. They all are aware. All of us are aware. The awareness that we have is the relative awareness, not the absolute awareness. The absolute awareness is the awareness of God, which is unimaginable. We don't know how that he is able to know. We can never imagine how he is able to know. In the absence of a brain, in the absence of a nervous system, in the absence of any senses like ears, nose, and things like that, he is able to know. So that's an unimaginable awareness. That is the absolute awareness is the unimaginable awareness. The relative awareness is the kind of awareness that all of us have, which depends on the brain. So in the deep sleep state, the human medium is asleep totally. Awareness is not produced at all. Brain activity exists, but the brain activity is of a different kind, which does not produce awareness. In the waking state, brain activity is there. In the dream state, brain activity is there. In the deep sleep state also, brain activity is there. But the natures of the brain activity in each state is different. In the waking state, the brain activity is processing the signals that are coming from the eyes, from the ears, and all that. You're conscious. In the dream state, this sensory connection is broken. While you're watching a dream, you are not aware of all the sounds that are going on around you, and your eyes are also closed. So sensory information is not processed, but your memories are being processed. The thoughts, the impressions that are there in your mind, those are being accessed. In the deep sleep state, even the connection with your memory, your thoughts and impressions is also cut. Why is it cut? Because there is no awareness. You are not conscious of anything. So awareness has not manifested at all. So that is the state of deep sleep. But again, that belongs only to the medium, like I was saying earlier. It only belongs to the medium. That is not the ultimate God at all. The existence of God in that medium of the human incarnation is separate. And that is indicated by the fourth term, that is the Turiya. Now, she further asks for some clarity on this concept. She says, can you please enlighten me again about Turiya? So she says, you said that this Turiya is the state of the absolute unimaginable God who has merged into the relative awareness of the first energetic incarnation. I am unable to understand this also, as the unimaginable God having unimaginable awareness is not at all different from the first energetic incarnation. Then why is this relative awareness coming? Even if we term it as relative awareness, it is fundamentally unimaginable only. Then two unimaginable items have to be treated as only one, is it not? Please throw some light on me and enlighten me. May you always bless me to be at your divine lotus feet. Chanda. Swami replied, the unimaginable God merges with the energetic or human form totally. This is told in the Veda as Antarbahishcha. Antaha means internal, Bahihi means external, So which means the entire medium, the physical medium as well as the awareness contained inside the medium. That is the meaning of total merging. So the unimaginable God merges with the energetic or human form, the human energetic or human medium totally, and not with the mere relative awareness of the form, which is based on the brain and nervous system. When we say that Lord Vishnu merged with Lord Krishna, the human medium of Krishna, we do not mean to say that Lord Vishnu, the energetic incarnation, only merged with the awareness of Krishna and he refused to merge with the body of Krishna. Are we saying that? No. We mean that internally and externally, the awareness as well as the body, through and through, is permeated by Lord Vishnu. Antarbahishcha tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthitah. This is told in the Narayana Suktam. So, this merging takes place due to the omnipotence of the unimaginable God. There is a difference between the unimaginable God and the incarnation because the unimaginable God is without any medium, whereas the incarnation has a medium. The same unimaginable God in unmediated state is called the unimaginable God or Parabrahman or Nirguna Brahman. The same unimaginable God in a mediated state is called the imaginable and visible God or the incarnation or Saguna Brahman. Saguna, with guna. Nirguna means without guna. What is guna? Guna means creation. Saguna means with creation. This medium of the incarnation is part of creation. So God who has merged into a medium, be it an energetic medium, be it a human medium, that doesn't matter. He has merged into a portion of creation. So he is God with creation. And God who is unmediated, before he merged, when the God you are discussing is the God before he merged with any medium, before creation was even created, that God is the unimaginable, unmediated God. He is called Parabrahman. He is also called Nirguna Brahman. Nirguna means without guna, without creation. God without creation, God without a medium. So from the point of the existence of the medium, there is a difference between the two. Which two items? Nirguna Brahman and Saguna Brahman. Between Parabrahman and his incarnation, Lord Datta. What is the only difference is that Datta has a medium, Parabrahman does not have a medium. That is the only difference. From the point of view of the unimaginable God, there is no difference between the two because in Datta, the unimaginable God exists in a merged state. The unimaginable God can exist without a medium or he can exist merged in the medium of Datta. So, from the point of view of the existence of the unimaginable God, there is no difference between the two. Lord Datta is also equally Parabrahman. But the difference is in terms of the existence of the medium. The relative awareness belongs to the medium, whereas the unimaginable awareness, which is nothing but the unimaginable omnipotence that functions like awareness, belongs to the unmediated, unimaginable omnipotence of God. So, two types of awareness: relative awareness and absolute awareness. The absolute awareness is the unimaginable awareness. Relative awareness is the awareness that is produced due to brain activity. That belongs to the medium. In a human medium, we know quite well how awareness is produced, how the nerves send electrical signals and how awareness is produced. Maybe some exact details we do not know, but we have the general idea. Neuroscientists have a general idea of how awareness is produced in the brain. Those details we do not know about angels, because angels have an energetic body. Their anatomy and physiology is not known to us. So we don't have exact details. But one thing we know for sure, as told by Swamiji, is that just as in the human medium, it is the energy produced in that medium which gets converted to awareness. Similarly, in the energetic medium also, it is the energy contained in that medium which gets converted to awareness. That part doesn't change. What is awareness? Awareness is a converted form of the energy existing in your medium. How come there was energy in your medium? You ate food, that food got digested. That digested food got oxidized when you started breathing. Obviously, you never stopped breathing. So your breathing oxidizes the glucose. Your food contains glucose. It's a sugar. That oxidation reaction, when the glucose is oxidized by oxygen, releases energy. So due to the digestion and respiration in your body, energy gets released. That energy is, some of that energy is consumed by your brain. Some of that energy passes through your brain and gets converted in awareness. What is awareness? Awareness means the processing of sensory information. When an object comes in front of you, your eye focuses that object on your retina, which leads to a nerve signal, which goes to your brain. That nerve signal is interpreted. That process of sensing and interpreting, and then later on commanding the body to do something, that is awareness. We know that this exists in the human body. A similar mechanism exists in the body of an angel, but we don't understand the details as well as we understand the details in a human being. Those details are not even necessary for us, because be it the human medium or be it the energetic medium, what is that awareness? It is a converted form of energy. It is the energy of the relative of that medium which gets converted into awareness, and such awareness is the relative awareness. So the relative awareness belongs to the medium. It is a converted form of the energy existing in the medium, the energy released in the medium. God's awareness is different. It is an unimaginable awareness. What is this awareness really? Is it a converted form of energy? Because we saw that in the human being as well as in the angel, the awareness was a converted form of energy. So is it a converted form of energy? No, no, no. It is not a converted form of energy. Why not? Because Parabrahman existed before even space was produced, before any form of energy was produced. And Parabrahman, he still existed. He was still aware. He wished to create. Wishing is a function of awareness. How did he wish in the absence of energy, in the absence of space? You cannot answer that question. When you cannot answer that question, we say the answer to that question is unimaginable. We merely say that using his omnipotence, he is able to know. Awareness does the function of knowing. Awareness is that faculty which does the function of knowing. We do the function of knowing through this nervous activity in the brain. In angels, again, there is a subtle nervous system which does this function of knowing. In the case of the unimaginable God, how come he is able to know in spite of not having a brain, in spite of not having any energy? He's the source of energy. So before he created energy, there was no energy. So he does not have space, does not have energy, does not have matter, no nervous system. How come he is able to know? We cannot answer that question. So we say that it is an unimaginable mechanism, that unimaginable power to do anything, including knowing. Knowing is also some activity. Lifting a mountain is an activity. Throwing a stone is an activity. Knowing something is also an activity. Any activity can be done by God without any limitations. That is why he is said to be omnipotent. His omnipotence allows him to know even in the absence of a nervous system. That omnipotence, which functions to know everything, which is carrying out the function of knowing everything within this creation, is his unimaginable awareness. Does he have anything special such as unimaginable awareness? No, his omnipotence does everything. He does not require a brain, a nervous system, conversion of energy, respiration, digestion. Does not require anything. His unimaginable omnipotence does the function of knowing. So it functions as awareness. So we call it, just for our own convenience, we call it unimaginable awareness. There's nothing such as unimaginable awareness. But for our understanding, we say that he has awareness, that it is unimaginable awareness. So that belongs to that unimaginable awareness, which is nothing but his omnipotence, his unimaginable power. Unimaginable power is equal to omnipotence. It produces the effect of awareness, but an omniscient awareness, an all-knowing, limitless awareness. Our awareness is always limited. So that limitless awareness that it produces, that is called unimaginable awareness. And that belongs to the unmediated, unimaginable God. So his Turiya is that state of the unmediated, unimaginable God who is able to do anything and everything due to his omnipotence. And due to that same omnipotence, he can also do the function of knowing everything without any limits. He is all-knowing. Omniscience means all-knowing. No limits. He can know anything and everything. Past, present, future. He can know about all your secrets, how much cash is there in your locker, everything he knows. So that is the whole story. I think it is 5:20, so I'll hand over to Suryaji. Pada Namaskaram, Swamiji.
Namaskaram, Swami. First, I will share the screen. Okay. We are in that March 17, 2026 Satsanga. These questions, Srimati Chanda, and the first 17 questions are covered. Now we are in the 18th question. What is the meaning of Turiya? The detailed question is, Pada Namaskaram, my Lord Krishna. Please remove the following ignorance of this very ordinary soul on the state of Turiya. The below questions are based on your discourse, avidya, and the states of consciousness. She has given the link also for the discourse. In all my questions, my concentration is only on the human incarnation of God, and I am totally ignoring our cases, as you already have explained that the four states of consciousness are not at all related to us as per the Veda. So the first one, first of all, I am very interested in knowing the meaning of Turiya. Swami replied, Turiya means the final state in which God is in his original unimaginable state. Of course, he is imaginable to himself. He is unimaginable to any type of awareness other than himself. Since he is beyond space and time, nobody other than him can imagine him. And next question. Is Turiya related to ashrama or the four states of consciousness? So the detailed question is it related to the ashrama, that is Turiya, is it related to the ashrama that is apart from four ashramas of God in the form of the human incarnation in some context, and in some other context, is it related to the last state of the four states of consciousness only? Please explain. Swami replied, the word Turiya stands for the unimaginable nature. When God Datta was asked by sages about the ashrama to which he belonged, God Datta replied that he belongs to Turiya ashrama. This means that his ashrama is unimaginable like himself. He is married to goddess Anagha, and hence he belongs to Gruhastha ashrama, that is householder. He wears saffron cloth, and hence he belongs to sannyasashrama, that is saint. Since he roams in the forest, and hence he belongs to Vanaprastha ashrama, that is forest dweller. Since goddess Anagha is also incarnation of himself, the Parabrahman, he is the perfect celibate belonging to Brahmacharya ashrama. Since all the four ashramas are different from each other, he cannot be in all the ashramas at the same time. This brings the unimaginable nature to his ashrama, which was called by him as Turi ashrama. And the next question is also by her. When unimaginability exists in the deep sleep state, what is extra in Turiya? The detailed question is, in the deep sleep state, when the unimaginability is already coming, then what is extra in Turiya? Can we not say that the third state, that is the deep sleep itself, is Turiya, as this step is valid for the human incarnation only, where the unimaginable awareness exists? I know I will never understand this state even if you explain, but my main confusion at least will be removed. I am really not able to differentiate between these two states of deep sleep and Turiya state in the case of the human incarnation. What is the necessity of bringing one more fourth state when in the third state itself God comes in the form of the human incarnation? Swami replied, in the Turiya state, even though God is unimaginable, God is aware of himself. The deep sleep state is for human beings. In this state, the awareness disappears and hence the individual soul, that is Jiva, is not aware of itself. But the impressions of already existing thoughts exist in Chittam or power of memory. Since there is no awareness in the deep sleep state, the thoughts in the memory cannot become active to cause dreams. In the case of the human incarnation, the God component always exists in the Turiya state only, while the incarnation is in deep sleep. The God component exists in the Turiya state and the human being component exists in the deep sleep state. Even in the alloy, gold exists as gold and copper exists as copper. In the Turiya state, the awareness itself is unimaginable because the omnipotence of God performs the functions of relative awareness, and the awareness based on brain nervous system does not exist at all. In the deep sleep state, the materialized nervous system exists along with inert energy released from the digestion of food. But the transformation of inert energy into awareness does not take place in the resting brain nervous system. And her next question, can you please enlighten me again about Turiya? The detailed question is, you said that this Turiya is in the state of the absolute unimaginable God who has merged into the relative awareness of the first energetic incarnation. I am unable to understand this also, as the unimaginable God having unimaginable awareness is not at all different from the first energetic incarnation. Then why is this relative awareness coming? Even if we term it as relative awareness, it is fundamentally unimaginable only. Then two unimaginable items have to be treated as one only, is it not? Please throw your light on me and enlighten me. May you always bless me to be at your divine lotus feet, Chanda. Swami replied, the unimaginable God merges with the energetic or human form totally, antarbahishya from Veda, and not with mere relative awareness of the form, which is based on the brain nervous system. This merge takes place due to the omnipotence of unimaginable God. There is difference between unimaginable God and the incarnation because unimaginable God is without medium and the incarnation is with medium. The same unimaginable God in unmediated state is called unimaginable God or Parabrahman or Nirguna Brahman. The same unimaginable God in mediated state is called imaginable and visible God, or incarnation, or Saguna Brahman. From the point of the existence of medium, there is difference between the two. From the point of the unimaginable God, there is no difference between these two. The relative awareness belongs to medium, whereas the unimaginable awareness, which is nothing but the unimaginable omnipotence that functions like awareness, belongs to the unmediated, unimaginable omnipotence of God. So now we will read some question answers. So this question is by Bhanu Samaikya, Miss Bhanu Samaikya. Swami, kindly make clear if the first step means doing karma phala tyaga or sacrifice of fruit of work. Swami replied, you have chosen the highest path of spiritual knowledge, that is Jnana Yoga, devotion, Bhakti Yoga, and practice, Karma Yoga. In this path, Karma Yoga is the last step in which service, that is Karma Sannyasa, and sacrifice, Karma Phalachyaga, are the two subdivisions. Your present stage is that you are studying a professional course which is needed for a job or private practice. The job or private practice is very essential in this path of propagation of spiritual knowledge. If you go to your friend's house and preach spiritual knowledge, they will think that you are preaching for the sake of food, since you have no job. Hence, establishment of the foundation of pravritti, which is doing a job, is very essential for both pravritti and nivritti. As a student, you cannot do karma phalachyaga. You can do only karma sannyasa, the service to propagate spiritual knowledge. For that also, you may not have time because you have to concentrate on your studies. Every student likes likes some change in his or her studies so that some relaxation becomes possible. In that time of relaxation, the student sees cinemas, etc. In that time, if you are having a lot of interest in, if you have a lot of interest, just one minute. Lot of in that time, if you are having a lot of interest on spiritual knowledge, you can do some propagation work of spiritual knowledge through emails and internet forums. Once you get your professional degree and establish yourself in earning, it becomes the settlement of pravritti life. This is the proper time for you to carry on the propagation of spiritual knowledge. You can compare yourself with your sister, Miss Trilokya. She completed her studies and established herself in a good job. Now she is concentrating on the propagation of spiritual knowledge. If she were in your place and in your stage, I would have given her the same above advice. When you compare yourself with others, you must find a similarity of the background, which is like a foundation for a building. You must develop a good lot of patience so that you will see all angles with utmost care. If you compare yourself with others in the way of hurry-burry, the information required for logical analysis will be insufficient. Sankara says that the first requisite for spiritual path is patience, shama. Next, we have another set of questions on question answers on April 18, 2025. The first question is by Miss Trilokya. The question is a saint better than the householder who, with the help of technology, constructs roads, etc.? In fact, the detailed question is, my father is against sainthood from a long time. He says that the householder is far better than a saint. The householders, with the help of development of science and technology, are constructing roads, etc., which are very much helpful to the public. How to answer his argument? Swami replied, Saint preaches about God who protects justice and punishes injustice. This concept is well propagated by the saints, and due to this, fear for sin and God and fear for the sin and God is developed in the minds of people. The result is that the roads constructed are without corruption and the roads stand forever without any damage. But what is the position of today? The roads are destroyed within a few days after their construction due to a lot of corruption everywhere. The life of your road is in the hands of the saints. Moreover, you say that the development of science and technology improved the condition of human beings to a great extent. But we find reverse of this. In the older generation, the people lived with very much longevity and the best health with a peaceful life lacking tension. Today, it is completely in reverse. Hence, your statement is not at all correct regarding the development of science and technology. Every country has nuclear weapons and people are becoming very much emotional day by day. We do not know when these nuclear weapons are used on this earth so that the entire creation becomes heaps of ash. In the ancient times, the ecological balance was perfectly maintained and the whole nature was very much systematic. Today, the environmental sciences give a worst picture of the present nature. The immense happiness of ancient times is now replaced by stress, tension, and anxiety that cause several dangerous diseases. Hence, a saint is doing far better service to the country than a householder. The increase of desires leading to heavy industrialization results in the terrible environmental pollution. Even the food grains are poisoned by chemical fertilizers, resulting in very dangerous diseases. Oh, excellent. It's a 5:45. Today we have Mahima Yamuna. So I will stop here. Namaskaram, Swami.
Banu, you can unmute now.
Yes, Anna, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Pada Namaskaram, Swami. I would like to share a humorous miracle bestowed by Swami. Currently, we are in final stage of designing the book Shri Datta Swami, composed by Shri J.S.R. Prasad Garu. This book gives a complete overview of Swami, including the miracles Swami performed and the glimpse of true spiritual concepts and the divine songs composed by Swami. We have added Swami's beautiful photos decorated in various forms of God. My sister, Miss Lakshmi Trilokya, is reviewing the entire book, and we both planned to start a final review on 26th morning at 6 a.m. Although in same city, Hyderabad, since I stay in the Dental University hostel and she was at home. So I plan to connect on a Teams call and do the work by sharing my screen with her. It sounded like a perfect plan. I dutifully woke up at dawn and opened my laptop just to realize that my hostel Wi-Fi was dead. I tried my phone hotspot, but the lag was so bad that even screen sharing looked like a slow motion movie. My sister said, "We cannot work like this," and aborted the call. But I wasn't ready to surrender. By Swami's grace, a sudden thought about college Wi Fi struck my mind, as my college Wi Fi always works. Immediately, I packed my laptop and headed to the college building. I woke up the watchman, grabbed the orange keys of my prosthodontics department, and rushed to the door. I unlocked the door and successfully restarted the Teams call within minutes. We were happily working until 8:30 a.m. When the chief sister of the department walked in, she looked at the open lock, then at me, and asked how I got in so early. I smoothly replied, "Exams are near, so I came to study." But her shock wasn't about me being so early to the department. She was only freaking out about how I unlocked the door. In a panicking voice, she asked, "Banu, how could you open this door?" I replied candidly, "I got the keys from our watchman." I was afraid that she would question me about the non-department work that I was doing. But she asked a different question. Why are the keys of another department present here? To close the conversation quickly, I apologized to her, saying, perhaps by mistake, I would have bought in those keys, ma'am. I'm sorry for the mistake. She lost her mind and shouted, Banu, the keys you bought is not fitting into the lock. It's not even our department keys. How did you open the lock? That's when I realized that it is an unimaginable event that cannot be explained by any science or worldly logic. Swami had already termed it as miracle. It didn't take long to realize that nobody can perform this miracle except Swami, our contemporary human incarnation of God. Swami always says that Prakriti will rearrange itself when God's will exists. Somehow, by Swami's grace, a random key had miraculously fit into the lock, and I had no logical answer to give her. We both stood there, stunned, realizing this was no ordinary coincidence. When I took the key into my hand, I was sweetly surprised that the orange keychain had number 3 written on it, which indicates God Datta, with the 3 heads of God Brahma, God Vishnu, and God Shiva. When I narrated this whole incident to my mother, she jokingly said, next time, when you go to the department in the early mornings, please do not disturb the poor watchman. Since you always carry our house keys, use those keys to open the door. Jokes apart, this small incident is not at all ordinary. Although the hostel Wi-Fi had failed me, Swami didn't. Swami not only gives me opportunities to serve him, but also unlocks every hindering door that comes my way. Swami is the ultimate divine locksmith who opens doors that no one can shut. He holds the keys of death and life, offering salvation by unlocking the chains of sin through his true spiritual knowledge. Thank you, Swami, for every single service you are providing me. I always aim to serve you every minute of my life, but end up failing. But the services that you provide me never fail at any point in time. I am short of words for your grace on me, Swami. Always at your divine lotus feet. Thank you so much, Swami. Pada Namaskaram, Swami.
స్వామి మీ పాద పద్మాలకు నా నమస్కారం స్వామి. దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం అనరా, ఉద్ధరించెదను నిన్నిపుడే కండ్ల గంతలను విప్పెదను, జ్ఞానయోగమను దీపముతో భక్తి మార్గమున కదులుమురా. దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం అనరా, ఏ జీవునికై మురిసితివో వర్జించినాడు నిన్ను వాడు, గుడ్డి మోహమును వదులుమురా ఇప్పటికైనా తెలియుమురా. దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం అనరా, నిత్యము నిన్ను కనిపెట్టెదను నీ శ్రేయస్సునే కోరెదను, జన్మ జన్మలను తోడగుచున్ నీ వెంట నుండి నీడవలెన్. దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం అనరా, చేతి నూపి నైవేద్యములన్
నాకర్పింతువు మాయావి నా నుండి వరము కోరెదవు సత్యమైన సిరి సంపదలన్ దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం మనరా దొంగటలాడ మనసాయే నర రూపములో దాగి తిని గుర్తించినారు నిమిషములో అరటి తొక్కపై కాలిడిరి దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం మనరా దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం మనరా దత్త స్వామిని నేనేరా నాకే దాసోహం మనరా.
ధన్యవాదాలు స్వామి.
తత్సవితుస్తా దేవతాయాః వరేణ్యభర్గో ధీమహి ప్రచోదయేద్వై ధియో యో నః తం బ్రహ్మాణం జ్ఞానసూర్యం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం ప్రాణే ప్రసవాత్ యః ప్రసిద్ధః సవితేత్యస్య బ్రహ్మతేజః శిష్యధియశ్చ ప్రేరయేన్నః తం గాయత్రీ మంత్రసారం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం గాయత్రీయం ఛంద ఏవ సవితా దేవః స్మర్యతే చ శిష్యాంధకార ముకుళితాబ్జా జీవికాసదం గురువరేణ్యం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం కర్తా భర్తా హ్యేషః హర్తా సర్వస్యాస్య శ్రూయతే హి త్రిమూర్తిరూపం బ్రహ్మచైకం బ్రహ్మాకారం బ్రహ్మవాచం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం త్రిపదం ఛందః త్రిస్వరోక్తం త్రికాలవంద్యం త్రిగుణసూత్రం త్రివాహినీనాం సంగమం వా త్రిమూర్తితత్వం యం యనక్తి భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం ఓంకారశ్చ త్రివిధ వర్ణః త్రిస్రో వ్యాహృత యోపి యం హి సంబోధయంతి సర్వమంత్రో యమేవ వక్తి త్రిగుణమేకం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం చత్వారోయం వేదశునకాః గౌరనుసరతి చ వేదధర్మః వీణాశ్రవణం వాణీపతిం షోడశవర్షం బ్రహ్మదేవం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం జగదారంభం హంసవాహం తేజోవదనం మంత్రమూలం గాయత్రీశం సామగానం విద్యానిలయం వేదపాఠం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం యజ్ఞాచరణం హోమనిష్టం కమండలుధరం దర్భపాణిం అగ్నిజ్వాలా భాసమానం ప్రాతః సంధ్యా బాలభానుం భజ భజ దత్తం భజ భజ దత్తం भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं चन्दन तिलके कुङ्कुमाङ्कं ब्रह्म तेजसा दीप्यमानं जगन्मोहन सुन्दराङ्गं आशायधरं पंडितेशं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं अत्रेः पुत्रं ब्रह्मदत्तं अनसूयाम्बा प्रेमराशिम् अजनमेखलं ब्रह्मदण्डं यज्ञोपवीता मक्षमालं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं स्वतनोरोज्यत् कमलगन्धैः त्रिभुवनानि ह्लादयन्तं ब्रह्ममुहूर्ते साधकानां प्रचोदयेत्ता धियो यो नः भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं सृष्टिक्रमवद पुरुषसूक्तं त्रिस्वरबद्धं पावनार्थं ऋषिभिः पठितं ब्रह्मकाले श्रुत्वा श्रुत्वा प्रीयमाणं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं त्रिमताचार्यै पठ्यमानान् तत्तन्मतमय भाष्यवादान् श्रुत्वा सिद्धान्तार्थमन्त्यं समन्वयमतं वाचयन्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं वेदान्तानामान्तिमार्थं वेदान्तार्थं बोधयन्तं ऋषिभिः परितो भाषमाणं शास्त्रार्थेषु व्यञ्जितेषु भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं आयुधवर्जित पाणिपद्मं वाचैवारिं मारयन्तं कर्मफलानि ललाटपत्रे लिखन्तमायो दायदानं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं आचार्येन्द्रं वाक्प्रचारं भुवि संचारं निर्विचारं खलाभिचारं सदाचारं सुरपरिचारं चित्तचोरं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं पद्मसंभवं पद्मपीठं पद्मसुगन्धं पद्मवर्णं पद्मापुत्रं पद्मनेत्रं पद्मसुपाणिं पद्मपादं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं वीणापाणिः यस्य शिष्या वाणी गायति ज्ञानदेवी तं वागीशं सामवाचा चरशोणाधर मन्त्रपाठं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं यत्सङ्कल्पः केवलं हि सर्वं विश्वं रचितमेवम् आद्यं देवं प्रथममूर्तिम् आराधनीया मजमनादिं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं ललाटरेखां कर्मबद्धां परिमार्ष्टुं यः केवलो हि सर्वसमर्थो लेखकोऽयं धातारं तं मूलमूलं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं चतुराम्नायां चतुरवाचा चतुरास्याब्जै रुद्गिरन्तं कविं कवीनाम् आदिकाव्यं सर्वजगदिदं विरचयन्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं परम ब्रह्मा ब्रह्म शब्दो यस्मिन्नेव प्रकृति हेतौ पूजातीतं परम पूज्यं दिवसारंभे पूजनीयं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं गायत्र्याद्या यस्य भार्याः त्रिशक्तयस्ताः त्रिमुखपद्मं देवपितॄणां पितरमेव पितामहाख्यं ब्रह्मरूपं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं श्रीदत्त ब्रह्म गायत्रीं योगायेत् ब्रह्मकालिकीं सब्रह्म तेजसा दीप्तो ज्ञानी ब्रह्मत्वमश्नुते शतायुर्दायमाप्नोति सर्वविद्याः प्रपद्यते सत्पुत्रं लभते होमात् ऐश्वर्यं ब्रह्मवीक्षितः भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं भज भज दत्तं
वेंकटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेंकटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम् ऊर्ध्वपुण्ड्रविलक्षणाङ्कित फालदेशसमुज्ज्वलं सप्तशैलविभूषणं नव नीलमेघसमप्रभं वामपार्श्वविलम्बिमौक्तिक दामचारुकिरीटिनं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम् अंसयोरुपरिस्फुरद्युति शङ्खचक्रसुलक्षितं चक्रवाकसमाकृतिस्फुट कर्णभूषणशोभितं स्वर्णवर्णधगद्धगद्युति नूतनाम्बरविभ्रमं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम् चित्रपुष्पसरोल्लसत्तुलसीदलात्मकमालिकं वज्रमौक्तिकधामसंभृत चित्रचित्रविभूषणं शोणपद्मविशेषहार परिष्कृतामलकन्धरं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम् शूतपल्लवकोमलाधर नर्तितस्मितसुन्दरं चन्दनाङ्कसमुल्लसच्युबुकान्तकान्तिविलक्षणम् उल्लसत्तिलपुष्पसंमित चरुनासमनोहरं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम् धौतदीधितिमीनयुग्म कलालसत्तललोचनं कामचापयुगभ्रुवोरति सुन्दराकृतिभासुरं वामपाणिविलोलसौरभ वर्षिकोमलवारिजं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम् दक्षिणादिगुणालयं शुभ सर्वसद्गुणसागरं पापकूपनिमग्नजीव समुद्धरं धरणीधवं अङ्गुलीयकवज्रदीधिति पाणिनाभयदायकं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः। वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम्। उज्ज्वलाङ्गसुदर्शनाभिध चक्रखण्डितराक्षसं सर्वमङ्गलदेवता रमयालसद्गुरुवक्षसं शङ्खचक्रगदाशिशार्ङ्ग समाख्यपञ्चसमायुधं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः। वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम्। यः पठेदिदमद्भुतं स्तव मुत्तमोत्तममागमं सर्वकष्टविमुक्तिमेति सकृत्सुखं लभते नरः। क्षीरसागरशायिनं परमाप्नुयात् परपूरुषं वेङ्कटेश्वरमाश्रये मम किं करिष्यति वै कलिः। वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 पाहि मां वेङ्कटेश्वर 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 रक्ष माम्।
शङ्कराय ते लोकशङ्कराय ते वन्दनानि मे देववासुदेवस्य। शङ्कराय ते लोकशङ्कराय ते वन्दनानि मे देववासुदेवस्य। फाललोचनं तव हि मे सुदर्शनं शूलमेव ते तिलकमोत्फपुण्ड्रकम् नीलकण्ठदे भाति कण्ठनीलिम विस्तरान्महो मम हि देहनीलिम। शङ्कराय ते लोकशङ्कराय ते वन्दनानि मे देववासुदेवस्य। फालचक्षुषा दग्धपद्मसायकं सादराक्षिणा दृष्टपद्मसम्भवं प्रेमवीक्षणा लोलपद्मलोचनं त्वां त्रिलोचनं देवसंस्मराम्यहं। शङ्कराय ते लोकशङ्कराय ते वन्दनानि मे देववासुदेवस्य। नटनपण्डिता स्फुरति रम्यताण्डवं चित्रमण्डलं भ्रमणलोलकुण्डलं पुरगमण्डन स्खलितधर्मदण्डनं धनुजखण्डनं विजितभारतीभण्डनम्। शङ्कराय ते लोकशङ्कराय ते वन्दनानि मे देववासुदेवस्य। शङ्कराय ते लोकशङ्कराय ते वन्दनानि मे देववासुदेवस्य। అదిగో తిరుపతి అదిగో తిరుమల వెంకటదత్తుని మందిరమదిగో సప్తమహర్షులు సంభ్రమ దృష్టులు కరముల మానస పద్మములొప్పగా వేచియుండిరట పద్మామానసుడగు హరివిప్పడు పద్మనేత్రముల మహతీ వీణను మీటుచుపాడును నారదుడచ్చట నారాయణయని కానివనమాలి కర్ణమునీయడు పద్మగళ మాధుర్యముదలచుచు కిన్నర కృతములు మంగళతూర్యము లవిగోమిన్నును ముట్టుచుండెనట. కలకల నవ్వెడి పద్మావతిని స్మరించు ఈశుడు మేల్కొనడాయను. అదిగో తిరుపతి అదిగో తిరుమల వెంకటదత్తుని మందిరమదిగో. దేవతలిచ్చడి కర్పూర గంధ మేఘములచ్చట ఘుమఘుమలాడును. అయినా హరిమది పద్మా ప్రణయము దివ్య గంధముల మత్తున మునిగెను. అదిగో తిరుపతి అదిగో తిరుమల వెంకటదత్తుని మందిరమదిగో. అప్సరసలు సరసంగ నృత్యముల ఆడుచుండిరట ఆలోకింపడు. కృష్ణదత్తుడదే అంతరంగమున పద్మనడకలను కులుకుల జూచును. నిన్ను గట్టుటకు భక్తియ మార్గము కిటుకును తెలిసితి చిక్కితి విదిగో. గోవింద దత్త గోవింద హరి గోవింద కృష్ణ గోవింద పద్మ. గోవింద దత్త గోవింద హరి గోవింద కృష్ణ గోవింద పద్మ. గోవింద దత్త గోవింద హరి గోవింద కృష్ణ గోవింద పద్మ. అదిగో తిరుపతి అదిగో తిరుమల వెంకటదత్తుని మందిరమదిగో.
నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో. శ్రీ దత్తస్వామి వారు రచించిన తెలుగు జానపద గీతం. నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో, నీకోసం ప్రాణాలైనా ఇస్తామురా. నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో, నీకోసం ప్రాణాలైనా ఇస్తామురా. అనసూయమ్మ పాలు త్రాగి పెరిగినోడా, అత్రి మునికే వేదాలను బోధించినోడా. అనసూయమ్మ పాలు త్రాగి పెరిగినోడా, అత్రి మునికే వేదాలను బోధించినోడా. నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో, నీకోసం ప్రాణాలైనా ఇస్తామురా. అంతరార్థమేదో నీవే చెప్పగలవు, స్కంద గురువుకే తత్వం వివరించినోడా. అంతరార్థమేదో నీవే చెప్పగలవు, స్కంద గురువుకే తత్వం వివరించినోడా. నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో, నీకోసం ప్రాణాలైనా ఇస్తామురా. మంత్రాలకు నీవు చెప్పే భాష్యాలు వింటే బ్రహ్మర్షులైనా నోరెళ్ళ బెడతారురా. మంత్రాలకు నీవు చెప్పే భాష్యాలు వింటే బ్రహ్మర్షులైనా నోరెళ్ళ బెడతారురా. నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో, నీకోసం ప్రాణాలైనా ఇస్తామురా. సర్వమత మూలాలను ఏకం చేసినోడా, విశ్వశాంతిని నీవే నిలబెట్టగలవు. సర్వమత మూలాలను ఏకం చేసినోడా, విశ్వశాంతిని నీవే నిలబెట్టగలవు. నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో, నీకోసం ప్రాణాలైనా ఇస్తామురా. నిన్నే పిలుస్తం దత్తుడో, నీకోసం ప్రాణాలైనా ఇస్తామురా. English translation follows. The following song is the English translation of the Telugu folk song Ninne Pilustam Dattudo, composed by His Holiness Shri Datta Swami, and the English translation is also done by Swami himself. We call you only, O Datta. For you we will give even our life. We call you only, O Datta. For you we will give even our life. You were grown by the breast of Mother Anasuya. You preached the Vedas even to Father Sage Atri. You were grown by the breast of Mother Anasuya. You preached the Vedas even to Father Sage Atri. We call you only, O Datta. For you we will give even our life. You alone can reveal the right interpretation. You explained philosophy to preacher Skanda. You alone can reveal the right interpretation. You explained philosophy to preacher Skanda. We call you only, O Datta. For you we will give even our life. If your commentaries to Vedic hymns are heard, even divine sages will open mouths in wonder. If your commentaries to Vedic hymns are heard, even divine sages will open mouths in wonder. We call you only, O Datta. For you we will give even our life. You have united the roots of all religions. You alone can establish world peace. You have united the roots of all religions. You alone can establish world peace. We call you only, O Datta. For you we will give even our life.
धरती पर भक्तों के तुम हो उद्धारक, भक्तों के कष्टों के तुम हो निवारक, जीवों के भरता तुम ही हो मेरे पालक, जगत गण हूँ मैं और तुम जग संचालक।
गुरु दत्ता श्री दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्ता त्रिमूर्ति अवतारी साक्षात परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी।
सृष्टि स्थिति लयकारी तुम दत्तावतारी, तुम्हारी लीला स्वामी जग से है न्यारी, काषाय वस्त्रों में दत्त त्रिपुरारी, तुम्हारी महिमा गाए हम सब नर नारी।
गुरु दत्ता श्री दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्ता त्रिमूर्ति अवतारी साक्षात परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी।
त्रिगुणों के मालिक कर त्रिगुणों को धारण, स्वयं ही सिखाए ज्ञान भक्ति सब दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्तात्रेय मूर्त्यवतारी साक्षात् परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी यथाशक्ति यथ भक्ति चरण आरंभे कर्म संन्यास कर प्रेम निर्धारे कर्म फल त्याग कर भक्ति प्रमाणे दोनों करे सो कर्मयोगी हो साबित गुरु दत्ता श्री दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्तात्रेय मूर्त्यवतारी साक्षात् परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी अमृत वचन स्वामी का नैया है पारे सुन ले मन तू हो जा स्वामी का प्यारे स्वामी बिन है पैर पंगुम हमारे स्वामी भजन हारे पीड़ा हमारी गुरु दत्ता श्री दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्तात्रेय मूर्त्यवतारी साक्षात् परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी तुम रहो दाता सदा मैं रहूं सदा याचक तुम रहो सदा मालिक और मैं रहूं सदा सेवक काहू को डरना जब तुम हो मेरे रक्षक तुम्हारी सेवा में ही जीवन मेरा सार्थक गुरु दत्ता श्री दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्तात्रेय मूर्त्यवतारी साक्षात् परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी मनमोहक अति सुंदर अत्यंत प्यारी आनंदाई स्वामी छवि तुम्हारी दर्शन मात्रे तृप्त आत्मा हमारी दृष्टि स्वामी की है चमत्कारी गुरु दत्ता श्री दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्तात्रेय मूर्त्यवतारी साक्षात् परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी परिपूर्णतम साक्षात् परब्रह्म स्वामी वेदों से परिवेद सार है स्वामी अनूह्य अवतारी अचिंत्य स्वामी मनुष्य अवतारी परब्रह्म स्वामी गुरु दत्ता श्री दत्ता जय जय प्रभु दत्तात्रेय मूर्त्यवतारी साक्षात् परब्रह्म श्री दत्ता स्वामी कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रिये वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् भक्त्यानया श्री दत्त स्वामिने समर्पयामि श्री दत्त स्वामिने समर्पयामि श्री दत्त स्वामिने समर्पयामि
उद्वेगरहिता संतोषरहिता शांति समुद्रा श्री दत्ता शांति समुद्रा श्री दत्ता शांति समुद्रा श्री दत्ता ओम शांति शांति शांति
नमस्कार स्वामी
नमस्कारं स्वामीजी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
नमस्कार स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी पाद
स्वामी
नमस्कारं
मी
स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारम स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं
नमस्कारं
स्वामी
स्वामी
मी पादपद्मांना नमस्कारं स्वामी
पद नमस्कारम स्वामी
नमस्कारं स्वामी
नमस्कारं स्वामीजी पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
नमस्कार स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
नमस्कारं स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
पाद
नमस्कारं स्वामी
स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारम स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामीजी
पाद नमस्कारम स्वामी जी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी Is there anyone left to offer pranams to Swami?
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामी
पाद नमस्कारं स्वामीजी
पाद नमस्कारम स्वामी जी